Katrina was easy. The aftermath of Katrina was hard.
My paper studied the Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy and focuses on how the federal government handled these two natural disasters. By comparing the two disasters, I studied if the preparedness and efficiency both before and after Katrina were consistent enough and has affected how the federal government has handled future natural disasters. First, I wrote about how the federal government was prepared and how they prioritized before, during, and after both Hurricane Sandy and Hurricane Katrina. And also, I focused on the time between the two hurricanes. Katrina was a Category 5 hurricane that hit the South States August of 29, 2005, and is and was probably one of the biggest natural disasters in American history. Katrina was a powerful storm, and unfortunately, it hit in exposed areas, and therefore it had major aftermath, such as huge floodings, and especially in New Orleans. After Katrina, the federal government and the Bush administration received a lot of heavy criticism, which led to reforms in the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also called FEMA, and how they were supposed to handle any future disasters. Therefore, when Sandy hit October 29 of 2012, there was made a lot of changes in how to handle and prepare for natural disasters. An analysis of hurricane relief address to the nation, held by George Bush, who was president during Katrina, shows that the federal government got heavily criticized by the handling of this hurricane. Afterwards, I compared George Bush's speech with President Barack Obama's statement on Hurricane Sandy, and that illustrated that Obama acted like he did on Hurricane Sandy to prevent meeting the same critique that the Bush administration did after Hurricane Katrina. The analysis of the two speeches from the presidents showed that there had been a development in the years between the two hurricanes. George Bush's speech were held in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, where Bush kind of acknowledges that there were changes to be made and they made some mistakes during this period of disaster. As previously mentioned, Obama didn't want the same critique as the Bush administration got after Hurricane Katrina. So, therefore, my analysis highlights that Obama was more actively involved in preparations for Hurricane Sandy, and he held his statement before the hurricane struck and not like Bush 17 days after Hurricane Katrina. Finally, the paper discusses the difference in how the two situations were handled, and I involved statistics and essential aspects. The assignment shows that because of the many warnings from, example, Louisiana State University and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers warning the federal government about that the levees could break, shows that Katrina was either not understood or downsized in the run up to August 29, 2005. There were many different aspects of the two hurricanes. For example, Hurricane Katrina, which was a Category 5 hurricane, compared to Hurricane Sandy, which was only a Category 1 hurricane. They also hit two completely different places, where Hurricane Katrina hit the southern states while Hurricane Sandy hit the east coast. So the discussion generally focuses on the different political situations, locations, and population. The reason I chose this subject was because I find it very interesting and very relevant because natural disasters can struck everywhere and anytime. So it's important to be prepared and learn from disasters in the past. I chose English because I wanted to analyze the two speeches from each president, because my subject focused on the federal government, and therefore I could get like their point of view. Um, and because I had a lot of facts that I had to involve, and I showed a development in time, I used history.